The CEO had never followed anyone before. But that afternoon, as the golden daylight spilled across the marble floors of her towering office building, Serafina Vale found herself standing still in the lobby, watching the janitor push his cart toward the exit with tired, deliberate steps. Something about the way he carried himself, quiet, invisible, almost apologetic, unsettled her. He worked harder than anyone in the building, yet no one seemed to notice when he arrived or when he left, except her. And on that particular day, she made a decision that would change not only his life, but her own. If you believe in kindness and second chances, take a moment right now to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel Whisper Tales 3. Stories like this remind us that even the smallest acts of compassion can echo for a lifetime. Serafina was the founder and CEO of a thriving tech company, a woman whose sharp suits and sharper instincts had earned her respect in boardrooms filled with doubters. She had built her empire from nothing, sleeping in her car during the early years, surviving on instant noodles and stubborn ambition. Now she commanded glass-walled offices and multi-million-dollar contracts, yet despite her success, a strange emptiness had crept into her days. Meetings blurred together, profits rose, applause echoed, but fulfillment felt distant. She often stayed late, watching employees leave in clusters, laughing and chatting, while she remained behind her desk, alone with spreadsheets and silence. That was how she began noticing him. His name was Callan Rhodes. He arrived before dawn and left after sunset. He worked with a kind of quiet dignity that didn't beg for attention. While others rushed past him without eye contact, he would pause to pick up a dropped paperclip, straighten a crooked chair, wipe fingerprints from the glass doors until they shone. Once, Serafina had seen him carefully place a half-eaten sandwich from the cafeteria into a napkin and tuck it into his worn backpack, instead of throwing it away. It wasn't greed in his eyes, it was necessity. Rumors drifted through the office about him. Some whispered that he had once owned a small construction business that collapsed during a recession. Others claimed he had turned down government assistance. What Serafina did know was that he never complained, and he never left early, even when the cleaning staff rotation allowed it. He always stayed until the building gleamed. On impulse, as Callan exited into the bright afternoon sunlight, Serafina slipped into her car and followed at a careful distance. The city outside her corporate tower looked different from this perspective. Instead of penthouses and luxury condos, Callan's bus route took him toward aging apartment blocks and cracked sidewalks. Serafina felt a tightening in her chest as she watched him step off the bus and walk several more blocks under the heat of the sun. He stopped at a small grocery store and used coins from his pocket to buy a loaf of discounted bread and a carton of eggs. Then he continued walking until he reached a narrow building with peeling paint and rusted railings. It was the kind of place Serafina had once lived in, years ago, before investors and accolades. She parked discreetly and waited, her heart pounding as if she were committing a crime. A few minutes later, the front door of the building burst open, and a little girl with wild curls and mismatched socks ran down the steps into Callan's arms. He dropped his grocery bag and lifted her high into the air, laughing in a way Serafina had never heard inside the office. The weariness vanished from his face. In its place was pure devotion. The little girl wrapped her arms around his neck as if she had been waiting all day for that moment. Serafina stepped out of her car without thinking. The scene felt sacred, almost too private to witness. But what she saw next broke something inside her. Callan gently set the girl down and crouched beside her, helping her adjust a makeshift cardboard solar system she had crafted for school. The edges were frayed, the paint uneven. He listened to her excited explanation with complete attention, nodding proudly, as if she were presenting a masterpiece at a grand exhibition. Behind them, a neighbor peeked out and called to thank Callan for fixing her leaking sink the previous weekend. Another elderly man waved, praising him for carrying groceries upstairs when the elevator broke. This wasn't just a janitor. This was a father who was holding his world together with threadbare hands. Over the next week, Serafina couldn't stop thinking about what she had seen. She reviewed Callan's employment file and learned the truth. After his wife passed away unexpectedly from an illness, medical bills had swallowed their savings. His construction contracts vanished during the downturn, and he had taken the janitor position because it offered steady hours that allowed him to care for his daughter, Maribel. He refused charity because he wanted her to see resilience, not defeat. Serafina felt ashamed. She had walked past him countless times, offering polite nods, never realizing the battle he fought every single day in silence. She recognized the same pride she once carried when she was struggling. But unlike her, Callan didn't have investors waiting to take a chance on him. The following Monday morning, Serafina called him into her office, not to reprimand him, not to offer pity, but to offer opportunity. She had a new facilities management position opening, one that required oversight, logistics coordination, and vendor negotiation. It paid triple his current wage and offered flexible hours. She had quietly observed his meticulous work ethic and problem-solving skills. She believed he was capable of more. Callan's eyes filled with disbelief when she explained. He tried to refuse at first, worried about qualifications, about stepping beyond his place. But Serafina spoke not as a CEO to an employee, but as someone who understood what it meant to stand at the edge of change and feel afraid. In the months that followed, Callan transformed the building's operations with efficiency and care. He implemented cost-saving systems, built stronger vendor relationships, and even proposed sustainability initiatives that saved the company thousands. More importantly, he walked into work with his shoulders straighter, knowing his daughter's future, felt a little more secure. Maribel's school project that year wasn't made from cardboard scraps. It was a carefully constructed display board filled with printed photos and bright colors. Callan attended her presentation in a pressed shirt, sitting proudly in the front row. Serafina found something unexpected too. Watching Callan and Maribel reminded her why she had started her company in the first place, not for recognition, but to create opportunity. She established a scholarship fund for employees' children and began mentorship programs for overlooked staff members. The culture of the company slowly shifted. People started seeing one another again. Years later, when Maribel stood on stage as valedictorian of her high school, she thanked her father for teaching her perseverance. She didn't mention the CEO who followed him home one afternoon. But Serafina stood in the back of the auditorium, quietly applauding, knowing that sometimes the greatest leadership decision isn't made in a boardroom, but in a parking lot under the afternoon sun. If this story touched your heart, please take a moment to like, comment, and share it with someone who needs a reminder that kindness still exists in this world. And don't forget to subscribe to Whisper Tales 3 for more stories that restore faith in humanity. Before you go, comment "Second chances matter" if you believe everyone deserves to be seen for who they truly are.